With the increase in popularity of the high school basketball scene, one of the most popular players is Mikey Williams, and he may soon make a decision that ruins his career forever. Now, Mikey Williams' recruitment and where he's going to at the next level after high school has always been a large question, but we may just have found out the answer to this once again, and people won't believe this. Now, Mikey Williams actually recently put something on his story where he was actually reacting to someone from Overtime talking about HBCU schools, and they said this: "Let's not forget that we wouldn't be talking about elite athletes going to HBCUs if it wasn't for Mikey starting the conversation with his tweets in 2020." And she basically saying that he changed the world, and I could not further agree from this at all. Now, Mikey Williams of course has showed interest in a number of different tweets about going to HBCUs. If we take a look at this one, "I'm going to change the world." Mikey has said a ton of things about to make folks mad with this hashtag HBCU. He has made a ton of tweets that are really pointing at this, and it's interesting to always wonder, where is this dude actually going to go? Is he really serious about going to these schools? And recently, of course, you guys remember this year, he had actually even said this: "I appreciate all of the coaches that have recruited me thus far. I'm deciding to reopen my recruitment and see what the future has planned for me." Now, what's most interesting about all of this is actually 24/7 Sports has recently released some news stating that their major predictions are that Mikey Williams will actually be going pro and not to an HBCU. Some people thought North Carolina Central he was interested in, and there were many articles that were talked about in the past about this dude having interest there, but the major predictions are actually showing him going pro. Now, that would be crazy for Mikey Williams. Of course, he's already making money off of his name at such an early age, signing a deal with Puma, having his own shoe coming out, and even having another deal with another company where this dude is clearly making in the millions of dollars just at 17 years old. But is Mikey actually going to go pro? Well, if you notice, Mikey also has a strong connection to Overtime as well, and I think that could be a very likely path that he does end up taking. Now, Mikey Williams, of course, playing on Overtime, he has been on their videos a ton and really was the main push in how Overtime got started, by covering Mikey and really having him have his own TV show. Even the Julian Newmans, a ton of these guys that have clout, they made TV shows for them, and the rest is history. Now Overtime has their own league, and who knows, Mikey may actually end up going to Overtime to play for them. Now, the reason being, of course, is that their age bracket is from 16 to 18, and Mikey would still fit the age bracket and be able to play and go there. Now, of course, the other option could be the G League, and I think this could be another great place for Mikey, but honestly, there's something no one is noticing about his recruitment and just his overall high school team, and that's the fact that Vertical Prep overall is not even one of the top programs in the country. Now, there has been a lot of question to if Mikey can actually even hold his own when playing against top players in the country, and it's been very suspect so far. His team actually got destroyed when they played Montverde, and a lot of these really top programs in the country, his team just doesn't perform that well, and sometimes Mikey just doesn't perform and play how we see this dude in the normal games where he's dropping 20-30 points. Now, a list had actually come out for the top programs in the country for high school basketball, and this is pretty much what we expected. Now, you have Montverde up there, you have Camden, which is DJ Wagner's school, IMG Academy, Sierra Canyon as 7th, but Vertical Prep is nowhere to be found here. Now, I think they have a pretty good team, and of course Trey Parker and Mikey, that matchup is insane, but I think for sure Mikey Williams has a ton of work to do to be able to compete with these top programs. If you're going to go to a really good college or even try to play professionally, you need to be playing at one of the top schools in the country if you want to be successful. It's going to be much harder if you're playing at a lackluster school, playing against decent competition, and if you think you're going to make that transition, it's going to be a little bit harder to really fit in. We all remember when Mikey actually made that initial transition from San Diego, playing against dudes that I said even look like they play JV basketball, to go and transition, play to Charlotte, and after some time he pretty much adapted and got comfortable playing there. But Mikey needs to go to a different school. I'm going to be honest here. I think Vertical Prep does play some competition, but at the end of the day, if you want to be one of the best in the country, I think Mikey needs to leave Vertical Prep, go to a school that plays better competition, go to an IMG, go to a Mount Verde, go to one of these top programs where you can really focus your skills, stop worrying about scoring so much, and really be able to go to a school that's going to push you to the next level. Now, I think going to Vertical Academy was definitely one step in the right direction, but I don't see why this dude won't transfer again and maybe go somewhere else. Now, he's definitely the man on his team, and I think Mikey Williams likes being that. He likes being the top scorer, the one that just goes out there and gets buckets. And of course, Trey Parker does his thing as well. That's nothing to take away from him. But at the end of the day, I don't think Vertical Prep is really the place that Mikey Williams needs to be if he wants to prepare himself for the next level. Now, one thing I have to give credit for to Mikey Williams is that for the majority of the time, he has showed up and played against any competition in the country. We remember when he went and played against Amani Bates. He's gone against top players, top programs in the country. Unfortunately, when his squad played Sierra Canyon, he was not there. That was definitely very disappointing. But I think so far, this dude has showed up and performed actually pretty well whenever he's played against competition. So I have to give him credit where it's due. But I think if he truly wants to get better, you would go to a school that would challenge you much more than Vertical Prep and the types of teams they play. You have to be playing against the best teams in the country, no doubt. And if you don't, that's just a personal decision. And hopefully he will still be successful in the long run. But I think he can make his career a lot easier overall if he just transferred to a different school. Now, the biggest problem many people have with Mikey Williams and how his game is currently right now is the fact that they think he will no longer grow any taller and that his competition will catch up with him. And we see this time and time again with many high school athletes, plenty of hoopers that again develop at a very early age, are much bigger, much more athletic, and just have that more game and solid foundation than their competition. But the older they get, they peak and just really lose the type of clout and the type of game that people thought they had. And this is one of the biggest reasons why I've stated that I believe Bronny James will actually be better than Mikey Williams. It's about potential. And in this case, when we talk about genetics, it seems like Mikey Williams is not growing any taller. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but height definitely does play a huge factor at the next level, especially when we talk about where players will end up. And if Mikey is not growing any taller, being around 6'2", if you want to give it a stretch 6'3", I think it can be tough for him to play at the next level. Whereas somebody like Bronny continues to grow and develop, and overall, that potential and that ceiling just seems much higher in my eyes than somebody like Mikey Williams, who is right now seems just like he's strictly a scorer and knows how to put the ball in the basket, which is what high school basketball loves, but the NBA despises. You have to be able to have different parts of your game, do different things on the court, and hopefully Mikey has that in his bag, but I just don't know. I don't see it right now, and hopefully this dude will make the right decision when he does finally make that decision going to the next level, because you guys know you make one wrong decision, man, and that could be the end of your career. Now, clicking the video on the screen would help my channel a ton, and this is LNH bringing you the best high school, G League, and college basketball content on YouTube, and I'm out.